Welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. Today, we're going to take the no negativity challenge. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. My name is Kale Houser, co-founder and CEO of Kale Houser Leadership. I appreciate you joining me today. I wanted to talk about something that, if you are in my world as far as social media goes, you may have heard already or heard before, but this is my opportunity for those podcast listeners out there, those business owners, those leaders. Part of being an amazing leader is your mindset. Part of getting in the right mindset around it is the information that you put into it. But then the other major part of it is, and we've had podcasts on this before, is the negative thoughts that go through our mind. It is so much easier, and our mind usually in certain situations go towards the negative, so easier than the positive. And this is what the no negativity challenge is. This is something that is not my own invention. Surprise, surprise, surprise. But my mentor, Grant Cardone, thought up this, and maybe he got it from somebody else, but it is so amazingly effective and insightful when you choose to do it. And I would encourage you to do this as you're listening to this, whether it's live on the day it publishes, or a week later, or a month later, or 7 years later. Do this no negativity challenge. It is simple in nature. It is simple in execution, but the results and the insights that you may gain from it may be challenging in nature, to put it bluntly. All right, so the no negativity challenge, there's two simple rules, really. Well, three, I guess. One, 24 hours. 24 hours of your day. The good news is you get to sleep for a part of that. You get to be asleep and go to bed and hopefully have amazing dreams and not negative dreams. But the point of it is, anytime that you have a negative thought that crosses your brain, if you have a negative reaction, if you have a negative action, if you have a negative tilt towards anything, words especially, then you restart the 24-hour clock. And you attempt, to your best effort, whether by purpose or accident or environment, is to get through an entire 24-hour period of your day, of your week, without having any negativity enter your world or come out of your mouth or go from your brain to your mouth or just in your brain rattling around. What this is, and you may be going like, well, that's kind of stupid. Like, I don't understand the point of this. Why would I do that? There are several reasons why, and I want to make sure that I'm very clear in how that I express those to you. The biggest reason is you're going to gain understanding. The whole purpose of this exercise and challenge is to gain better understanding of yourself along these various different realms. So it really is what causes you to be and think negative. So as you're thinking about and going through this challenge and actively doing it, and something pops up, what causes that? What makes you think negative? What makes you act negative? Now, I will say one of the iterations of when I was going through this, I have yet to be successful in the entire 24-hour period to not be negative. And I don't consider myself a negative person. As a natural tendency. However, I do have my own struggles. I do have my own things that I get down on myself sometimes, and I react poorly and all the things, right? Like, I am learning. I am a work in progress. That is the best part about our community. That is the best part about our mastermind that I've created with the VIP Leadership Mastermind, is we are all a bunch of imperfect people that are just trying to learn, get access to the right information, and get the proper guidance in order to be better. Even if that is 1% at a time, even if that is 0.5% at a time, that we're making these strives. And part of this is identifying the things that make you not better. Now, I was doing amazing at this challenge. I will be upfront and honest. Like, it actually kind of surprised me. Like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Like, having a good day. Like, I had a good evening with my family. We, talked and laughed, and we played a game, and there weren't any negative thoughts. Like, I was having a good time. I went to bed, had a great sleep, and I woke up and I had to go to an appointment, and I got in my car, and probably within 4 seconds of me turning onto the street, out of our parking garage, boom, bam, negativity. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm a fairly aggressive driver by nature, which tends to lead to low patience and understanding of other fellow drivers. So for me, I tend to get fairly negative and fairly angry while I'm driving. Not to the point where I'm literally screaming at people, although I have kind of yelled and called people idiots while I'm in my car. But I tend to be negative when I'm in my car driving. And it helps me understand that this is one of the causes, and it identifies where I need to work. Now, additionally, this 24-hour challenge, it will help see what you need to change in order to eliminate that negativity. So maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a quote unquote friend that you're hanging around, that one, we've talked about this before, they're not doing you any favors, and they're doing nothing but dragging you down and causing you and draw that negativity out of you because they love it. They're wallowing in their own negativity. It's what makes them feel good and comfortable, and they just want to bring you down. There's a classic Calvin and Hobbes cartoon strip that I'm thinking of. If you're not familiar, I would highly recommend. He's a phenomenal artist, Calvin and Hobbes, with lots of life lessons learned. And there's one where it's about this young boy, and he's out at the bus stop, and he's just in a horrible mood, right? He's got the dark cloud above him like they do in the comic strips. And the neighbor girl, that not like quasi friend, right? That's kind of his nemesis and also his friend at the same time. She comes up and she's like, wow, you're in a bad mood. And he just kind of lights into her. Well, then the next frame is now she's in a horrible bad mood. And then he's got the bubble above his head that says, nothing makes you feel better than spreading your bad mood around. And that is absolutely true. And it may be that your environment is you're around people that are like that. They only feel better if they can make you feel worse. They only get better by pushing you down, which in turn causes you to be negative. So maybe you're gaining understanding in what you need to eliminate in order to not be negative anymore. Now, additional understanding is understanding the difference between true negativity, like actual negative thoughts, negative actions, versus just kind of being down or being disappointed. Because you can be disappointed at something, like maybe you didn't achieve something that you were striving for, or the results didn't come in that you were hoping for. You got, maybe bad medical results that came through, some sad news. That does not necessarily equate to being negative. You don't have to go to the negative sense of, oh, my life is over. I'm never going to succeed at anything. Right? I'm a failure. Those are negatives. Versus, man, that sucks. How can I learn from that? What did we learn from that? What can we change to do better, right? You continuing to move forward and you're positive about it. That sucks. You acknowledge it because it is what it is. But it doesn't mean you have to go negative. Man, that sucks. We're never going to do that again. Man, that sucks. Obviously, we're not good at that. Obviously, nobody wants our product. Obviously, I'm not a good leader. Those are the negative tilts. Now, beyond that understanding, and once you have that understanding of those triggers, for lack of a better word, although I hate using that word, the things that spur these emotions and actions in you, it allows you to gain better control, thoughts, words, and actions. It allows you to gain better control of how you react in those situations, beyond maybe just not putting yourself in that situation. But as you're going through this 24-hour challenge and you're running into these various points of resistance to being positive, to being not negative, you're gaining understanding of okay, this is what caused it. I recognize what caused it. Now, how do I can't change the situation. I still have to go drive. I still have to go get places and interact with the public. I still have to, go with that coworker or, the person in the cubicle next door. How do you control now your thoughts and actions and words to not be negative anymore? Because it will only serve you better once you get that control. And it is 100% up to you. How you respond to those situations, whether negative, positive, or otherwise, is 100% up to you. So this exercise of 24-hour no negativity challenge will give you those insights of how you gain control and what you need to do differently over that. Okay, so it's also understanding the external influences. Now, I touched on this a little bit already, but it's really understanding and how you get control of your attitude, no matter what the external influences may be. Like I said, maybe you're in a situation where it's unavoidable. And typically, every time you walk into the post office to mail your things, you come out of there just pissed off and angry and negative. But you still need to go to the post office. You still need to go to the store, whatever that is for you that causes that environment, those external factors and influences. You get better understanding and gain better understanding of what you need to do and how to control your attitude as you're approaching that. Yeah, now maybe changes need to be made. Maybe you need to think of something else. It's such a downer. Going to the grocery store is so painful for you and so miserable that you come back like you just came out of a 13-round fight with Drago. from Rocky that you need to actually change some behavior and change some actions. Yeah, get Instacart, get delivery, whatever. But these are all things. The whole intent of this exercise is to give you understanding and help you change actions and gain control over your thoughts, words, emotions, feelings, and attitudes. And I hope you do it. I hope you take it seriously. Reset your clock. If you do, if you make it an hour, awesome. Congratulations. A lot of people can't make it 2 minutes. You make it an hour, sweet. Go for 2. If you made it 2 and then boom, something happened and maybe you cuss somebody out under your breath, that's negative, man. Restart. Like, okay, I recognize why I did that. Let's not do that anymore. Join me in this. I'll be posting in my Facebook group. I go through this occasionally. My results, like I said, I was doing fantastic until I left my home and got in my car and on the streets. And then so that is something that I will be working on. But there are many other things that I recognize too, that I need to gain better control of my attitudes and thoughts and actions, especially thoughts, right? That's where the poison really starts to creep in. If that is something we can help you with, please, VIP Leadership Mastermind.com. Let us know. We're doing a promotion half off your first month, no commitment, no obligation, anything like that. Check us out, see how we can help you and how we can be a benefit for you, especially if you are really struggling with this negativity part of it. And if you are in charge of a large team, encourage your team to do this too. Encourage your team to go through this challenge and maybe make it fun, Like, hey, if anyone can at the end of this, honestly stand up here and say they haven't had any negative thoughts, actions, or emotions or attitudes, like make it fun, like do some reward or who knows whatever's appropriate for your business. All right, everybody. Hope you found this a little bit interesting and entertaining. If you haven't thought about this before, please do it. It doesn't cost you anything other than getting into your own brain and figuring out how you tick and what makes you tick. And I would highly encourage you to do that. Awesome. All right. No matter where you're at in the world, have a fantastic afternoon. Bye.